You're watching the Nation Network with your host, Vince McSham. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It is WrestleChat time. We're going to be talking about mostly WWE based on SummerSlam and then last night's Monday Night Raw Fallout edition. I'll say this right off the bat, that is the most WWE that I've watched on a Monday or Friday night without a fast forward button, so that's a good sign. And if you follow me on Twitter, you already know my thoughts of last night compared to SummerSlam. I thought it was a magnificent difference, and sadly, everything a pay-per-view should have had that they didn't. So we're going to cover all that. It's not going to be multi-segments like other ones, so this will probably be about a 30-minute program if you guys want to jump on board with us. I put the link up in the chat box below or to the side on this one, depending where it shows up. I'm using the StreamYard, so in this case, I see it on the right. Oh, Lord. So yesterday was a long day. I had a root canal and extracted a wisdom tooth, so this side is still swollen up quite a bit. And yeah, anyway, didn't sleep much last night, so if I already sound tired, that would be why. And another reason why we're going to keep it relatively short. Don't want to pull any stitches out in the meantime, you know what I'm saying? Hell of an experience. I might even share that story with you guys. Before I get into the story, let's go ahead and bring my partner in crime on board, the one, the only, J-Rox in the house. He should be in the house. He was in the house. Now he's in the house.
Can't ever get anything started proper.
No, lately you've been a technical mess.
Yeah, well, happens when you're out here in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Well, the funny thing is, on the bottom of my control panel, it showed you like you are now. And then when I switch you on, it's a black screen. I'm like, well, wait a minute. I'm looking at him.
Yeah, timing. It's all timing.
It is. Truly it is. Oh, so let me tell you my dentist story. So first off, I've never, and not like most people, I don't like going to dentists. I don't like going to dentists because I had a middle school teacher who I love dearly, but shared a story with middle school kids that you probably shouldn't have. Talking about how her son, who was probably 8 to 10 years old at the time, went to the dentist and the drill bit came off and almost lodged in his throat. I mean, it was a scary situation as she's telling the story. Well, here I am 50 plus years old, and I will never go to a dentist and not remember that story. So when they were setting this appointment up, the guy was telling me, the procedure and all that, which I never had it done before, but I've heard enough stories, so I had the gist of it. And he said, so we'll put you under anesthesia. I was like, anesthesia? It's like, yeah. Said, no. I'm not for nothing, but it didn't work so good for Michael Jackson, and there ain't no crash cart here if y'all fuck up. You're not going to have a way clear. I'm like, no. The same way I'm not going to go to McDonald's and try and get a sirloin. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you ain't that kind of doctor. Don't get too happy with yourself, okay? He looks at me and says, well, okay, are you tough? I says, how long is it going to take you? 25 minutes. Well, I can be tough for 25 minutes. Don't you worry about that. And he was happy with me at the end. Well, let's move ahead now. So here's yesterday. I get there, and I'm shot up with the Novocaine stuff, and about 35 minutes he's been gone now since shooting me up. And I'm like, well, motherfucker, by the time he gets back, it's going to wear off.
Right.
Finally, a nurse comes in, and he comes in behind her, and he's got his iPhone in like a little leather, almost like a notebook kind of thing, as opposed to like a clip-on or something like that. It's in a little folder. The size of the iPhone, small little thing. He comes walking in, and as he crosses the threshold to walk in, that thing just bobbles out of his hand like a football going into the end zone and bounces across the floor. And my first thought is, should I be worried?
Yes.
I looked at him and says, are we all right? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I do that all the time. I'm like, are you sure? Because all I'm thinking about is an 8-year-old with a friggin' drill lodge in his throat, and this guy's just throwing shit around. That actually matters to him.
Right.
So, anyway, being the glutton for punishment I am, let's go ahead and do this shit. Well, the root canal goes pretty easily. You know, I've only had one of those done before, so as far as root canals go, it was fun. Now we get to the wisdom tooth. Now, I'd never had that done before. Everyone tells you how much fun it's not. And, man, you hear that. I mean, most people, I guess, do take the anesthesia. I wasn't going that route. So you hear the grinding and you hear the bone, and that shit don't bother me. I know a lot of people can't handle that. That doesn't bother me. Pain bothers me. Okay, so he shot the fuck out. I mean, I couldn't feel my face. So we're good. As long as I don't feel anything, the noise doesn't bother me any. Well, this damn tooth was not cooperating whatsoever. And he's in there. I mean, I only have my perspective of it. I can't tell you what was actually happening in there, but it felt like he's in there like twisting and turning, and my head's this and I'm like, damn, I'm gonna have a whiplash when this one's done, or that, or a chiropractic adjustment. I don't know which. And all of a sudden, that, you remember the movie The Christmas Story with Ralphie?
Yes.
When he's helping Dad change the tires, the flat tire. And there's that moment where all the lug nuts go flying in the air. Oh, fudge. But I didn't say fudge, no. Well, he had that same kind of moment. He's over there digging away, and all of a sudden I could feel it bouncing around in my mouth. The tooth dislodged, his hand slipped out with the tool, and I could literally feel this tooth bouncing around like a Plinko chip. And I'm thinking to myself, I've got to lean forward, because they got you laid back, right? I got to lean forward,
right,
to make sure I don't lodge the fucker, you know? So as I'm leaning forward, the nurse is like sticking her hand under my mouth, and I'm like, what the fuck's the problem with her? Well, what do I know? I'm so shot up, I don't know nothing. Apparently, I had a full-on mouth of blood. So as I'm sitting over here going to get this thing out so it doesn't go down, it was Walking Dead, man. It was like splat everywhere. Now, deliberately, I wore a Breaking Bad shirt, figuring, what the fuck's it matter? It'll match. It'll work.
Right.
So that's my dentist story. He got the tooth out. I'm in pain. 2 stitches. Yay. There's that. Whatever don't kill us, man. We got Andrew Roberts in the house. DHW's here. Vince McSham's here. Check that out. Okay. Infrared, my brother from another mother. What's happening? And Big JH also in the green room. We'll bring you in just a minute. Let's kick this thing off a little bit. So, SummerSlam, we did the watch along. You should know my opinion was it was the worst SummerSlam of all time in my book. I can't think of one that I liked less than that. And SummerSlam, I've never seen one that I didn't like. Even if I didn't like some of the matches, I liked the event. This is the first one where I was just like, this is horrible. You on board with that?
Yeah, I mean, other than EO cashing in, there really wasn't anything else that I would say made the event. And that's sad. Because like you said, there's never been, I honestly thought about it today, and I'm like, I was the same way. I can't think of another SummerSlam where it was that unmemorable, you know?
You couldn't wait for it to end. And you know me, I'm always waiting to hear, like we did our thing live. I said, oh, I'd be curious to see what Cornette says, right? Now, I haven't heard his entire SummerSlam review, but he did the Cody Brock match. And here I am at work yelling at my iPhone. Because he's sitting back there talking about the Brock match. And it's finally we had a wrestling match. Finally, we got 2 guys telling a story. They weren't outside in the ring the whole time. One of them was he
not watching the same match as we were?
I said one of them was for 12 fucking minutes. And then Cody getting thrown out over the top rope, and then Cody beats the count by 8. And then he gets thrown out again. He beats it by 9.5. And I'm like, yeah, I know. It sucked, didn't it? That ain't fucking wrestling. Between your two marquee players. Come on.
Right.
And he was defending it as a good match. Now, granted, if you're going to stack it up against the rest of the night, maybe. Now, I did also catch some of his review of the Roman match, and boy, did he trash that. Which I agree. It was way too. We're 12 fucking minutes in, and they just now getting to the point where they might ring the bell. Oh, that thing went way too long as well. Way too long, that show. Way too long. So yeah, the Jay thing and the crowd was dead. It's like, yeah, they were beaten to submission.
Right.
Now, you and I, when we were watching it, I called it that it looked like Ronda really caught her with that knee, which now we know she really caught her with that knee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I was going to say, I don't think either one of them's that good.
Right. And I said that when they fell out the ring towards the aisleway, that it looked like Shayna had caught her arm. And we come to find out last night, Shayna broke her thumb on that same hand. So.
Oh, she got a broken thumb on top of everything else?
Yep.
She got a butt whooping. But, and here's the thing, like, and maybe I'm guessing they're, like, Monday Night Raw is probably not in the same city, but pretty close by.
No, actually, I mean, they went from Detroit to Minneapolis.
Yeah.
So,
well,
I mean,
yeah, all right. I was thinking it was a leftover crowd because the crowd wasn't, no, it's like they're not getting into Shayna at all, which I don't get.
Right.
Shayna's good. She's a legit badass.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about some Shayna stuff here in a minute. Before we do that, though, let's go ahead and bring him on board here with us. JH in the house.
Yeah.
What do you think of Monday Night Raw compared to SummerSlam?
It was all right. About 2 stars.
What?
About 2 stars.
What, Monday Night Raw?
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't watch it. Granted, I only get to watch 2 hours of it because Hulu only shows 2 hours. So
they're doing you a favor, though.
They cut off a lot of the good stuff. Like they didn't show. They didn't show Sami Zayn getting attacked in the back by that kid.
Yeah, but that wasn't that big. JD McDonough.
They usually.
It wasn't like you missed anything. I mean, you didn't. They're interviewing somebody else at the time, and then all of a sudden you hear the noise, and then the camera goes there, and it's already the event's done. So you didn't miss anything,
right?
They've been talking Shinsuke Nakamura turning heel for a while, and they finally pulled the trigger on that last night.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that in a little bit.
He's gonna be wrestling Seth. They're gonna have a 3-way, I guess, at the next one. Or
I don't know.
6-pack challenge, whatever. I don't know.
I guess the thought of Cody going after that title just no, man. You got to go after Roman. You got to get the belt off Roman, and everything else is just kind of when he talked about Cody's in the ring talking about the after effects of the Brock match, and that his mom said the crowd acknowledged you. As there we go. That's how we're going to get under the skin and make this thing happen. I
just hope Jay and Jimmy don't end up feuding like the Bella twins. They have 2 matches, then suddenly they're kissy face back together again, just like Nikki and Brie were back in the day. Remember when they started feuding, and then
with Stephanie McMahon.
Then 2 months later they were back together again, like nothing happened.
Well, that's the women's division. They don't give a shit about the women's division. At least back then they didn't. That's when Vince still had his finger on the pulse, so to speak.
Well, did you hear about him?
Yeah, he's in trouble again.
He's got that neck brace on again, so it's like deja vu to the last time when he got
Only problem is he's come out now in documentaries talking about how that was kind of there for theatrics. So If you think a judge isn't going to know about that going in now, probably a really bad idea.
I don't know how you get a neck brace from a back injury, but he's supposedly had a
that's because the
spinal.
backbone is connected to the neck bone.
Okay, yeah. Sing that song?
Yeah, exactly. That's where I got my doctor's degree, from that song.
Oh.
That got me through middle school science, man, and biology. So say what you will.
But at least you can see Triple H is booking stuff.
Man, there's days where I don't know who the hell's booking stuff, because I can tell you SummerSlam looked like nobody was booking stuff. It was so bad.
But one thing I like is The Miz can have some good matches with the LA Knight, because he might, because he's a good worker, he's a good wrestler. He can put people over.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
and he will. All right, let's run down the card from last night. We had Chad Gable getting a win in a fatal four-way match, and I was happy it was anybody but Matt Riddle, which will give him now the public execution against Walter.
Well, I think that Max is going to turn on him and go with Walter.
Oh, I don't.
I think that's his girlfriend. I think that's his girlfriend in real life.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think it is.
Well, if that's true, that makes an interesting scenario. It's too bad, because I was actually liking her with them. I was thinking that was going, and now that she's doing the whole shoosh thing and everything.
They pushed those back some male models all the way to the main event now. They're like,
which main event?
The TV show main event.
Oh, yeah, that's where the show Peacock. Is that still on?
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
No shit, didn't even know that.
That's the only place it's televised.
I was just gonna say, so there's like 30 people watching every week.
They tape it
pretty
before
much
Monday Night Raw.
Okay.
Then
here's my learning for the day.
Then they have that. They also tape NXT Level Up.
Right.
Didn't even know that exists.
That's a good show if you want to watch, like, the new guys coming in. That's some good matches.
Well, maybe I have to dust off the Hulu and take a look. All right, let's see. Shinsuke, I guess he had double duty, didn't he? Because he beat Bronson Reed. I forgot about that.
I know the guy who makes his ring gear.
Who, Bronson's?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Did he charge by the pound?
I don't know.
But
I would have been here Saturday sooner, but I had a wrestling show to go to.
That's cool, man. You gotta do what you gotta do. All right, we're going to I'll bring you back in a minute. We got a video clip to show here. Stand by. All right, let me pull this thing up real quick here. Oh, it's already there. Isn't that nice? All right, we're going to take a quick look at a clip, which will, for those of you here live, you'll see it. And for those of you watching it later, it'll probably be blocked out. That's just the way it is. I'm trying to keep it real short so that hopefully Fair Use says I'm allowed to use 8 minutes. It's that simple. But the last time I did this stuff, I had a bunch of chopped up stuff in my video stream because it all got blocked out later on. So this is only going to be about 7 seconds long. We should be safe. But it's one of my pet peeves with wrestling in general right now. And we're looking at a couple of players, in the women's division. But you can't do this. Here we go. Okay, if you're applying a headlock or a neck hold or a sleeper hold, and I see it all the time, can you please cinch up on it a little bit? I'm not telling you to gas them out, but for fuck's sake, look at this. I mean, goddamn, she ain't doing nothing. Look how loose that is. Like she couldn't just step out of that. And that, like I said, I'm trying to keep it short. But I could have shown about 3 more moments from that match that were equally bad. And the crowd actually was chanting for her name a little bit there, I guess maybe, but I'm like, what the fuck? Am I
think
wrong?
No, I mean, plain devil's advocate here. She's probably concerned about the orbital injury to Shayna's face, and I get that. But
I could have gone further back. She does the same basic move, but puts the arm across the eye to do for that purpose, to make it sell.
Right. I mean,
and that one looked a whole lot better than this.
Yeah, true. It's just, I guess, sloppy wrestling.
Lazy wrestling. Again, it's a fucking headlock, man. Look at the guys back in the day, 70s and 80s. They put a damn headlock on.
And if she was worried about that, she could have done a front chin lock where she had the arms to the side and the hands under the chin and crank back. I don't think
she was worried. I just, it's so cooperative now that, I can just stand here like this and you're not going anywhere. Well, yeah, because I'm not supposed to, but could you fucking sell a little bit?
Right.
And don't get me wrong, I like both of these performers, but work, to get people invested in your character and in your product.
Well, it comes down to, it's the little details. You pick that out. I've picked out things on like SummerSlam where I'm like, it just a little tweaking here or there and you'd have something good.
Yep. Anyway, I didn't think that match was all that good, to be honest with you, because of moments like that, and there were several, as I said. One moment. We had Ludwig Kaiser going up against and defeating Otis. I didn't watch that one. That was a fast forward. And then I was a little surprised because I thought I had seen something different online. But the New Day came out to defeat the Viking Raiders, which I think that's a mistake because you haven't had the New Day around for how long?
They've been gone for 5 months with Kofi's injury.
And I don't know. I mean, the Viking Raiders, if you're going to walk down an alley and you're going to have to fight two guys, which two do you want to fight? The New Day or the Viking Raiders? You tell me.
New Day. I ain't fucking with the Viking Raiders.
Thank you.
No way.
And by that same token, maybe they should have got the win because, look, New Day's day is done. Not saying they can't keep wrestling. They can't have a few wins here and there, but they're at Miz level now. Miz is on the way down. He was a main event guy. He knows his role. He's going to do a great job with that role. But these guys, whatever. Like I said, I don't know who's booking it. But I
mean, honestly, since they brought Valhalla with them, it's like they haven't got a win. And I thought the whole point was to make them into this badass team, like a modern day Demolition or Road Warriors, and let them run through the fucking tag ranks. And they ain't done shit with them. They make them job out every week, practically.
I just don't get it. Like I said, there are a couple of bad looking dudes that they can move too. For big guys, they can move. They can get around. Bummer Slam. That is the right name for the event this year, buddy. Nice one. Every time I turned on the YouTube channel, it was playing the 24 hours of SummerSlam. It was always one or two different matches, but it was always the same one or two different. I saw the John Cena match where it was him against the Nexus and the tag team.
Yeah.
So I saw that like 3 different times, which I enjoyed that match very much, and I enjoyed that SummerSlam very much, but not enough to watch it 3 times. And I don't even remember what the other one was. I saw something. It wasn't even the Warrior match. Something from '88, the first SummerSlam I saw. Couldn't tell you which match at the moment, though. A couple times. All right, so New Days came back against the Viking Raiders, and they get over. I thought I saw somewhere that Big E was with them. And I was tuning in to see, is he wrestling or is he like there as an advisor in the corner or something? But no, he wasn't there at all. So I don't know where I saw this. Maybe somebody posted a picture of them from back in the day and said, New Day is back or something like that.
And it could have been, he might have been there at the event, just not on television. So,
well, he wasn't. So there's that. And then we have the 6-man match with Rhodes, Rollins, and Nakamura going up against the Judgment Day. Judgment Day can't keep losing all the damn time, though.
Right.
I kind of get it. And I know that they're building something right now. And I will admit there's an element of maybe with JD McDonough working with Finn.
Right.
There's a history between them. I can see that happening.
I mean, they could actually do like a student student teacher thing, because Finn did actually train JD when he first started. So that's where their connection comes in.
Right. So like I said, that could work. What the hell's going on with this thing, man? It's showing it here. Let's try it again.
It ain't on my end.
No, this is StreamYard. There's some aspects of StreamYard that I like, and then there's others that just drives me absolutely crazy, like this one right this moment. Why is it not showing? There it is, finally. Fuck's sake. It's on my other screen, so it should just, the image on the screen should just load up. I've never seen it do that before. $25 a month, motherfuckers.
Right.
This was so well done.
Yeah.
I mean, I almost missed it. The match is over. I usually hit stop and delete the recordings, free up space, and move along. And I was pretty close to doing it. I don't even know what made me. I guess I thought that something between Seth and Cody might be happening.
Right.
So, or for that matter, the Judgment Day, something might be happening. The thing in my mind that wasn't happening was Shinsuke.
Well, I mean, I kind of figured, I'm not going to say I was 100% sure Shinsuke was going to do what he did, but he did kind of give that look when he said he would join their team after that interview was over. He kind of looked and grinned in the camera. I'm like, oh, he might just decide to, and he turned out to do it. So,
yeah, well, again, he got past me on that one. That was, my eyes weren't going in that direction at all. And then when he came across with that kick, I didn't even see it coming until it happened. And I was like, oh, shit.
Right.
And it looked good, too. So, again, that is the kind of thing that should happen at, I don't know, a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And nothing like that happened at SummerSlam. Nothing. Wow, right, you had EO. But even then, as soon as Bianca wins the match, first things out of my mouth is what?
Fuck EO. No. Where's EO?
Yeah, EO's got to cash in. So there was no surprise in that. By the way, somebody had left some comments on, and it's not any of the regulars or anything like that. I don't know who this guy is. Left some comments on the watch along video, basically insinuating, I believe the comment was something to the effect of, I wonder why they don't want Bianca to be the champion. Ha, ha, ha.
Because she sucks as a wrestler? That's why? So if you're watching this stream...
That's not the insinuation I took from it.
I know what the insinuation is.
Okay, good. It's not just me then.
No. Two white guys don't like Bianca because she's black. No, that's not it. She can't wrestle for shit. That's what the problem is.
And the whole time I was bitching about her, it was about the entrance and the hair.
Yeah.
It was. I think she's an okay in-ring performer. I don't think she's terrible. But the hair is a fucking joke. It's professional wrestling, and she uses it as a whip. No, sorry. And if you're going to get into a fight, would you really want a 7-foot ponytail?
Not really. Choke your ass out with it is what I'll do.
So anyway, I won't say he apologized, but when I explained to him, it's like, no, man. The fact of the matter is she was just champion for how long? A year?
Yeah.
That's enough. That's enough. She ain't that good. She ain't putting asses in the seats. And the crowd towards the end of her run wasn't with her anymore.
No. They weren't with her during this. They weren't with her during SummerSlam.
So anyway, he kind of came back with an apology of sorts and what have you. And he's like, well, I guess I'd have said the same thing if Charlotte would have won. And I was like, I would have said the same thing too. That's the whole point. We are tired of Charlotte. We are tired of Becky. We are tired of Bianca. We want someone new. And we got it.
Right. Now let's see how long they fucking let her have it.
Now, Charlotte, I'm sure she's going to get 2 more title reigns at the least. Will she get a 17? I don't know. But she'll get 16. And we're all just going to have to deal with that shit. So yeah, John, that's kind of my opinion too. And especially now the direction it's going in. But I think you're going to see a shake-up a little bit, kind of like the Horsemen did. How many different Horsemen were there? And even when the Horsemen broke up, then they come back together. Hey, Paul Roma, fuck it, he's a Horseman.
Right.
When your group is over well enough, they can survive some changing of the guard, okay? You can't lose Rhea. And at this point, you can't lose Damian. And you can't lose Dom. Dom's white hot right now for heat.
Yeah.
But you can put another person in that Finn role, and I'm trying to think in my head who would be a good fit. I'd almost want to look down at the NXT roster if you're going to do something like that. Bring somebody up that fits the mold. I'm not sure who that would be necessarily.
I mean, I think that was the whole purpose when they called up JD. I think it had to do with Finn wanted him in their group. And that's why Triple H went ahead and called him up. And then when he got there, Vince came back and was like, oh, no, we can't have that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I thought they did this thing really well with Shinsuke and Seth. And they should have done a lot more of that in SummerSlam. They just didn't. Or Bummer Slam, I guess is the new name.
Right.
Braxton, who? Kayla Braxton? I'm not seeing Kayla wrestle, if that's who you're referring to.
I'm not sure.
I know she was in NXT, but I didn't know she was doing it. A lot of the announcers do. They end up doing the announcing thing when they don't feel they're going to make it in the ring.
Right.
They being the powers that be. Finn is a 3-time loser. Even at SummerSlam, he blew it twice. Well, yeah. I mean, technically, at the end of the day, he did come up short twice.
Yeah. I've caught that a couple times, James, on YouTube. He's got some good talent. He's got some good talent down there.
I'm all out of hours in a week for wrestling right now. I got no room for more. Well, I know that I stand alone in this thinking that I liked Roma. I was always a Paul Roma fan, even going back to the Young Stallions. I just liked his look. I thought he was very athletic. Was he the greatest promo in the world? No, but 80% of the people there weren't the best promo in the world. Never stopped Ronnie Garvin from being the world champion.
Right.
So, yeah, I thought by putting him in there, that kind of made him in WCW a little bit. And granted, it wasn't, your daddy's horsemen anymore either. I mean, and you got stormtroopers falling through the wall with their helmets coming off. I mean, it was a bit of a shit show, if we're going to be honest.
Yeah.
But I liked him and Arn as a tag team. Who was the other horseman back then? You had Flair, Arn, Paul Roma, and did Ole come back? No. He may have been back like an advisor role, but he wasn't wrestling.
Was it McMichaels?
I don't think he was there yet, Mongo. He came later during the Monday nights. I don't think it was Sid. Could have been Luger, but I don't feel like it was.
I don't know. I'd have to go back and look.
Yeah, now I'm wondering. Well, one of you guys knows the answer. Put it in the chat. Oh, that's a name, Promise Braxton?
Okay.
Okay, well, hey, he did okay with Roxanne, so...
Yeah, yep, she came from there.
WCW did have people thinking it was going to be Tully coming back to the Horsemen, and yeah, again, I wasn't let down. I liked the fact that it was something totally new. By the way, where is Purist, man? I didn't want him to feel alone, man. I've been working out and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Versus Gigi Ray. I'll definitely check that out. Flair, Arn, Roman. It was Ole. Okay, I thought.
Okay.
But Ole didn't actually wrestle back at that point, though, did he? He was more of just like there, like a JJ. But I thought it was Ole. I kind of recalled it. Because that might have also been around the time where Sting got to do a little stint with the Horsemen before Ole let him down on the Clash. But anyway, I was a fan of Paul Roma being in the Horsemen, and I know I stand alone on that, but I don't mind. I also don't believe he has any business being inducted into the Hall of Fame as a Horseman. He apparently doesn't see it that way, but I think anybody would have a brain does. You're not that Horseman. You were a Horseman.
Right.
So there's that. All right. Like I said, guys, this wasn't going to be a long one. I just wanted to touch base with what I thought was a pretty good Monday Night Raw, and I don't say that all that often, really.
No, I mean, I was watching it, and I was really happy with the show last night. I mean, people got... The only thing that bugged me was LA Knight being on Raw. He is a SmackDown star. If you're going to have the brand split, have the brand split. They did try to explain it because he was there for the photo shoot, so I kind of give it a pass. Other than that, I enjoyed the show. I mean,
yeah,
I haven't said that very often here recently either, but from beginning to end, they did great matches. Everything had a purpose why they were doing what they were doing, and I couldn't have been happier. So,
yeah, I thought it was a good show. Of course, SummerSlam set a pretty low bar. Maybe that has something to do with it.
Could be.
Just saying. All right. With that in mind, we are going to wrap this one up. Thank you guys for joining us here for WrestleChat. We'll come back and do some more of this as wrestling prohibits, or demands, I should say. Couple of quick notes on the channel itself. Season 1 is concluded. That was a good run with the UPW stuff. I need to change direction and gears. Every member of the roster is available on Community Creation if you so want. Okay, I finished going down my checklist versus what was uploaded to make sure they're all uploaded. Some of them are there like 6 times because of 2K. And I can't even delete the ones that are there 6 times. But if you don't see the wrestler's name there, don't use that one. There's something wrong with it. But anyway, they're all up. So if you want to do your own UPW stuff with any or all of them. They're there. Have at it. Have a good time. Next week, I am off from work starting this Saturday to the following Saturday, so I can relax a little bit, and fuck around and hear him do stuff. So we're going to kick off season 2 next week. Looking forward to that. I posted a little teaser thumbnail on the channel, so you can go look at that in the community tab or on Twitter X, whichever one you're most interested in using. And that'll give you just a little sneaky kind of backdoor idea what we're going with here. It's a different kind of story from ones we've told in the past, but basically what we've been talking about with SummerSlam and with this, it's like all the pieces are there to be good.
Yeah.
I'm going to put them together in a way that's real. It's most of what we do with the Wrestleverse is fantasy booking. You know, like Dusty ain't going to come out and wrestle anytime soon. But in this particular case, I'll be leaning a little bit more towards factual talent in ways they could be utilized.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll sprinkle in some of the, Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes stuff as well. But the main story, the main focus, which you'll know after episode 1, that is going to be based around actual WWE currently signed talent. And we'll see if I'm right or wrong, but I think it's a real easy solution to freshen it all up again and make it exciting for both brands.
Right.
It saddens me when the wrestling community can put together better stuff than the highly paid / overpaid WWE writing staff.
We do it 90% of the time right now, so
make sure they sign the NDAs. Yeah, and definitely do that. Definitely do that. You should always do that. All right. Well, thank you once again, everybody, for being here. Jay, thank you for being here. Say good night, Jay.
Good night, Jay.
Make sure you go check out his channel, too. He's got some fun stuff up there. In the
Actually,
meantime,
real quick.
Yeah.
I just Danger Zone Wrestling premiered today at 5:00, so check that out. And come Thursday at 5:00, Mayhem Wrestling is premiering on my channel. So the women are going to have their own show, and the guys have their own show now. So there you go.
So go check out some Danger Zone. And what was the other one?
Mayhem.
And I've got some more N64 stuff coming in, and I just ordered. I'll have it like Tuesday. So if you've seen any of the N64 stuff I've done, the picture's not so great because it's getting sent into a HDMI, and there are special gadgets, I guess they sell, that should compress it back to its normal constraints and give you a cleaner picture the way it would be back in the day with a CRT TV. Right. So anyway, that thing is coming Monday or Tuesday, and when it does, I'm going to hook it up and hopefully have a better picture. But I also have an extra game title or two coming away as well. So with a whole week off, I'll be bouncing into some N64 as well right here. All right, that's it. That's a wrap. You all have a great rest of your night. We'll see you again next time for some WrestleChat.